Pop star Avril Lavigne had Lyme disease and went through an extremely tough battle, and she had a very emotional response to everything that she went through. And they got an interview with her, and it was a really insane moment for everyone to see what it's like to actually have Lyme disease. So this is going to be me reacting to that video and talking to you about Lyme disease and what we can all do to help more people heal. Let's go. By the way, my name is Ryan Kearns. I nearly died from Lyme disease when it was attacking my heart. I fixed it holistically. I've helped my friends and family do the same, and now I help clients all around the world. A lot of people are scared about their health right now, and I don't want you to be one of them. And that's why I created this channel, to share everything for free. So if you're new here, hit the like and subscribe button. Welcome. And hopefully, if you share this with one more person, that's one more person that's less scared and more healthy. So let's do it.
Is superstar singer Avril Lavigne opening up about her battle with Lyme disease. She's doing this for the first time on camera.
She described the anguish she faced in her battle with Lyme disease and coming to the realization that she would soon be putting her career, her life, and even her world tour on hold.
Yeah, so they start out by saying that you got to put your career, your life, and your world tour on hold. Imagine all of the folks that don't have a world tour to put on hold, right? There are bigger things than, fame that you would need to put on hold. For example, what if you're a household that only makes $40,000 per year on one income, and you're feeding a house of 4 people, 5 people, 6 people, and all of a sudden you can't work because you have Lyme disease and you don't know what's wrong with you. The doctors don't really know what's wrong with you. They say things like chronic fatigue syndrome. We'll get to all of that in a little bit, but my point is that if, Avril Lavigne having an issue with having to pause her tour is one thing, right? Okay, she lost a few $1 million. I'm sure she has other millions of dollars that she has invested and that she has working for her, so that she doesn't really need the money from the tour, I would think anyway. However, it just reminds me of all the people out there that are suffering today, right now, with Lyme disease, that can't work for their family. They can't provide for their family anymore, and how big of a deal that is and how terrible that is when it comes to how the medical system is handling that, how people are handling that, specifically traditional doctors, is just not aligned with what really needs to happen in order to get people actual results from Lyme disease and get back to work so that they can provide for their family. And so it's just tragic. It's sad. It's very hard to think about. And a lot of that really drives myself, waking up at 4 a.m. every single day, just constantly trying to find a way to reach more people who have Lyme disease so that I can help more people, so that people don't have to stop working, so that people don't have to suffer through these very difficult emotional battles with Lyme disease when it feels like you're crazy and doctors are telling you you're crazy because you don't have the diagnosis, and so much more. So let's keep going.
I literally became bedridden last October, and I was in Los Angeles, and it was literally the worst time of my life. And I was seeing every specialist and literally the top doctors, and they were just
So she's saying she was bedridden. It was the worst time of her life. She was seeing the top doctors. I mean, this is a person that's not strapped for cash, that doesn't need to save money on the medical path that she takes. She could literally throw all of her money into it, yet she still wasn't seeing any results at all. Okay, so what should that tell the average Joe like you and I? I don't know, but it's something to consider when you're thinking about these challenges. And she's crying now. She's emotional. She just felt like she was crazy because they wouldn't tell her that she had Lyme disease because they couldn't figure it out. They kept telling her that she had chronic fatigue syndrome and that she had fibromyalgia and all of these other kind of also broad-based diseases that or syndromes that don't actually mean anything, and that cause them to then barely do the types of things that are going to fix the problem.
so stupid. They would pull up their computer and be like, chronic fatigue syndrome, or why don't you try to get out of bed, Avril, and just go play the piano.
Or they would assume that she was depressed and then give her things to do, like, why don't you go get out of bed and play piano, and so that'll make you happy. But she couldn't even get the energy to do that because she was, the microbial load in her body that was just constantly taking away her energy, her collagen, and her immunity, and her immune system was probably over functioning like a lot of us. That just doesn't help at all either. And you feel sick, but you don't feel like cough, runny nose type of sick. You feel like your body is in overdrive, smashing into a wall over and over and over again as your immune system breaks down your body. It's insane, and it's unlike any other thing, really. It's its own thing that's very different than every other illness I've ever experienced in my entire life. And that's what every Lyme disease sufferer, or as I call them, Lyme warriors, that's what they go through. That's exactly how it feels. It's not like getting a cold or a flu or a thing where you're throwing up or coughing or sneezing or anything like that. It's literally, it feels like there's just a ton of bricks strapped to your body at all times because your body's in overdrive, trying to kill things that it cannot find, trying to kill little tiny microbes that are very good at hiding. In fact, they mask their DNA to ensure that the immune system goes right past them and doesn't even see them because they think that it's part of the immune system. And our immune system starts breaking down our collagen in our body and breaking down different tissues that those microbes like to eat. So they're disguised. It's like they put a fake mustache on, blend in with the cops. Then when the cops go away, they're eating all the donuts that the cops left there. It's your collagen, because your immune system breaks down that collagen because it's overreacting to something that it cannot find. They're very low virulence. They're very low in numbers, right? There's not a lot of them. And they're extremely good at hiding. So these aren't microbes that are like a pneumonia bacteria that's extremely aggressive and attacks the air sacs in your lungs. This is like a microbe, a bacterial infection where they'll hang out for years and years. They don't care. They're kicking back. They're disguised like the rest of your body. Your body isn't trying to kill them. Your body goes into hyperdrive in order to try to kill them, but has no way of knowing where they are, and just basically runs your body into the ground over and over and over. Every single day you wake up and feel tired and groggy and terrible, and like you're dragging yourself through each and every day. That's what Lyme disease feels like.
This is what they do to a lot of people that have Lyme disease. They don't have an answer for them, so they tell them like you're crazy.
And so in this part, it's hard to watch. She's realizing that they don't have answers for people with Lyme disease, they being the medical establishment, doctors, etc. So what they do is they basically make you think you're crazy for saying that you have all these symptoms. They don't get behind the patient, they don't believe the patient, and they think that the patient is just depressed or just, a little off, or, going through a slump, or, they don't think that there's any merit to what the patient is saying about how they're feeling each and every day, when in reality, they're suffering in a deep way that I just explained 2 minutes ago.
Her nightmare began while out on tour.
I woke up and had like night sweats, and I felt like I had the flu, and this went on and off for a month, and I saw my doctor right away, got blood tests, got swabbed, and they didn't really know what was wrong with me.
So when did you first suspect that it might have been Lyme disease?
Probably 2 months into having it.
Avril became her own health advocate after she says she was given the runaround by some doctors.
Then I finally figured out, find a Lyme specialist. And the thing is, when you're a specialist, you also really know the disease.
Yeah, so she went through all of those struggles and challenges of feeling like garbage for months before she figured out, find a Lyme specialist, find somebody that lives and breathes this stuff, that thinks about Lyme disease microbes when they wake up in the morning, that thinks about the people that are suffering when they go to bed at night. Those are the type of people that can actually help you through this thing and look at every single piece of the puzzle that when you put it together, it works. Okay, this isn't about the easy button, the magic pill, the magic formula that fixes it all. This is about looking at you as an individual, every single piece around that, the holistic picture of you as a human, you know, from the times you go to sleep, the times you wake up, the amount of water you drink each day, what you eat each day, how many times you go to the bathroom each day. Every single little tiny thing can be changed in order to fix this. And that sounds difficult, but it doesn't have to be as difficult as you might think. In fact, you don't ever have to think about it at all when you work with people who already thought about it for hours upon hours upon hours. So you get to just basically get rid of that worry, get rid of that burden, get rid of that fear, right? Because there's people behind you that then know what to do. They know what's going to happen. When you start to feel a little bit worse, they realize that it's microbial die-off and that your body needs to support methylation so you can get rid of those microbes that you just killed off. Whereas other doctors might think, oh no, they're getting worse. Like they don't understand what's going to happen before it happens because they haven't seen it before. And when you help enough people with these types of challenges, you start to understand the patterns in the challenges and you start to understand how it looks when someone's going through the stages to become successful at what they're trying to do. And so that is why a Lyme disease specialist is so important. And that is why it can literally change the entire game for you if you just figure out how to find somebody who cares more than anybody else about your health and that wants you to fix Lyme disease and will do anything to make that happen. And if you find that person, you know, do whatever they tell you to do, show up, just pay attention because there's not many people like that. And if you can find that, it means you found someone special and it's someone that you should trust and believe in, because they're just not around. They're almost non-existent. The amount of people that care about our health is very limited, as we've all been seeing, and a lot of it has to do with terrible, unethical practices and strategies that don't work and profit. And honestly, it's pretty crazy that everything is set up the way that it is. I mean, people are being rewarded for having more sick patients for more of the time. Shouldn't they be rewarded for when patients get better, when healing occurs? Yes. So there is something to be said about that, and I'm gonna drop that for now, and we can talk about that more later.
She told me that fans from around the world have carried her through her diagnosis.
Stay strong.
So they talk about how all of her fans really had her back, showed up to support her, came to do what, sent her videos, sent her cards, sent her flowers, really supported her, showed her that they loved her, right? And not enough of us have that in our lives, right? Wouldn't it be nice if we were all pop stars? Yes, that's not the point. The point is you've got to find a way to surround yourself with people who love you, who care about you, who want to see you get better, who don't allow you to just take the easy path and stay sick for the rest of your life, when there's a different path that might be a little bit harder. It might take a little bit more willpower. It might take a little bit more sacrifice, but the result is the illness is gone and you feel 100% better. And maybe you even feel better than you felt before it happened. Yes, that's possible. I've seen it happen many times. So I just want to say that I am with you 100%. I maybe won't be there to send you flowers and cards and tell you I love you all the time, but I am here because I care a lot about people who are suffering like yourself. And I just want to make that clear, and I want to kind of take this moment to have this little connection with you where you understand why I'm doing this. Okay, YouTube channels don't make money. Okay, there's nothing I get out of making this video. Hopefully you get value out of it, you get better, you're able to heal your life, and you're able to then go help another person heal their life. And that is the only value that most people get out of creating a YouTube channel. Okay, so I just want to connect with you and level with you and tell you, like, I'm here for you. I want to see you get better. And I make these videos for that sole purpose. That's the only reason I do this. And so, yeah, just, I'm with you. I feel you. I love you. Thank you for being here. I appreciate your attention. It's so valuable, and I would never take it for granted. So let's move on with this video and see what else Avril Lavigne did to try and handle this difficult problem. She's crying on camera. She's very emotional, and she's distressed with the facts, with what she went through from her diagnosis to not getting the diagnosis, to the treatments that weren't working, to the doctors that didn't know what to do. She's very overwhelmed and stressed that happened, and she's very emotional in this video.
I felt very, very loved, and it sounds silly saying it, but I really, truly did feel my fans.
And she said her fans made her feel loved. And so how can you get around other people that make you feel loved? And maybe one way is to hang out here on this channel. I mean, I know it's not maybe the same as having fans for yourself or having a loved one or a spouse if you don't have one, but I am quite literally here for you. And I do love you as a person. I love everybody, but I just, maybe if you don't have anywhere to go, I want to provide a place to go where you feel accepted, understood, and loved. Okay? And maybe that message isn't for you, maybe it is, but I'm just throwing it out there.
Avril says her regimen has included antibiotics and lots of rest.
I'm about halfway through my treatment. I'm doing a lot better, seeing a lot of progress.
And she said she used antibiotics and a lot of rest, and those are the things that are helping her heal. That's great. However, I want to make it very clear, you don't need antibiotics to heal from Lyme disease. I personally didn't use it. A lot of people don't use it. There's tons of case studies and stories of people not using antibiotics. And the reason you wouldn't want to use antibiotics is because it's a very aggressive solution built specifically for high virulence microbes that are aggressive and that need to be killed right away, kind of like pneumonia microbes, as we talked about before. And they're not really made for very low virulence, microbes that hide, and we call them stealth microbes. I didn't make that up. I think I got it from Dr. Bill Rawls, who's an amazing Lyme doctor who has a supplement company, sells amazing products to help people heal from Lyme. But I kind of a tangent there, but the point is that you do not need antibiotics to beat Lyme. Now, I'm not saying whether or not you should take them in this video, and I'm not saying that you should or should not. So I'm just saying that you don't need to if you choose not to, okay? So just a little bit of a difference there, just so that you know. Avril is saying that's what she did. I'm saying that's not what I did. Both of us, I'm sure, had a very serious case where it was a big deal, and we both healed. So there you go. So from what I just explained, antibiotics don't really work in the way that you would expect for this type of thing. Now, if you do take them, the downside is that your healthy bacteria in your body, you're made up of trillions of bacteria as a human being, and there's a bunch of them that are healthy and that are building your immune system and that are your immune system and that live in your gut and that help you feel balanced, energetic, good mood, all of that stuff. But when you take those antibiotics, it's anti-living, against living, right? It's going to kill all those gut bacteria. So you can have a lot of problems when it comes to digestion and when it comes to just your stomach in general, leaky gut. There's a ton of different areas that gets to when you start getting into the realm of antibiotics. So that is why you would not want to take them. Why you would want to take them is because it can kill things, right? And maybe it'll kill the microbes, right? So you can do the risk analysis there, if it's worth it or not to you, but I want you to know that you don't have to take antibiotics to beat Lyme disease. And a lot of people take antibiotics and don't see the results, those people can still heal and they can still fix the problem, no matter what the problem is, by using a holistic approach and by, using all the methods that we use to heal our clients.
good for me to know. I'm just really grateful to know that like I will make 100% recovery.
That's such great news. If someone's out there suffering with Lyme disease, is there a message you want to give to them?
There is hope. Lyme disease does exist, and you can get better.
So her message to other people with Lyme disease was, Lyme disease does exist, there is hope, and you can get better. Okay, so she believes, in this video, she believes she's halfway through her goal of actually being better, and she was dealing with it for months already before this video was taken. So if you think about it, she's probably doing a long-term dose of antibiotics, usually IV antibiotics. I think Justin Bieber may have done the same thing. I'm going to make another video about his situation. I just thought that this was so cool and crazy that she had this emotional breakdown on the news, because it really shows that the sheer issues and terrors that we go through when we have something like Lyme disease or something chronic like that. So if that's you, look, I'm here for you. We're here for you. I have a team of people that I work with, holistic nutritionists, functional medicine health coaches. We help people we give them the clinical grade premium supplements that are part of the program. That means you pay once, you get the result that you came to get, and if you don't get that result, you get your money back. And that's how we do business, and that's how we stand apart from the traditional method of beating something like Lyme disease. So I hope this video helps you out, and I hope you stick around on this channel because, like I've said many times already in this video, we're here for you. We want to see you succeed. We care about you. We love you. We appreciate your time and attention, and we don't take it for granted. And if you share this video or like this video, it really tells YouTube that it's a good video that can help out just one more person. Just one more person that doesn't have to suffer anymore, that doesn't have to be scared anymore, and can start healing and can start their health journey. That's all I'm asking. Get this into one more person's hands. All you have to do is hit the like button, hit the share button, one of those two. And if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks so much for watching. My name is Ryan Kearns. Bye.